Mm. All right. Let's do this. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Kiljaedas. How's it going? We are back with another Raiders recap video. It is the 21-22 season finale. Let's just say this, guys. The 21-22 season was just bananas. I mean, we started off hot, and then we lost Gruden, we lost Ruggs, we lost Arnett, and then we ended up having a bunch of key injuries, and it looked like we just were going to fall apart. But then somehow we picked it up and just ride the ship. I mean, it was unbelievable what happened. Let's just go ahead and do it. The final results being 10-7. With the home games being 5-4, away games being 5-3. We finished second in our division in the AFC West with a record of 3-3. We finished fourth in the conference, which is tied with the Bengals and Pats. Our conference record being 8-4, and our non-conference record being 2-3. All that put together, and we end up being this fifth seed into the playoffs, which we just lost in the wild card week because of going against the Bengals. I mean, you can't get any better than that. I mean, they met the goal that I set them all those years back. Not those years back, but in the beginning of the season, they met my goal, and that's what's important. I mean, you can't get any better. Moving on, though, I'm going to go over some stats now, guys. I'm going to try to quickly go over them because there's a lot of stuff to do. I am comparing the stat rankings that the Raiders have in the league and everything, and then after that, I'm going to go over stats when it comes to the Raiders versus their opponents for this year, and then I'm going to go over our stat leaders for the team. So let's get to it. Passings first, guys, and if you look, it's going to be passing attempts, completions, completion percentage, yards per attempt, touchdowns, interceptions, quarterback rating, first down percent, 20 plus yard passes, 40% yard passes, the longest pass, and then how many times the quarterback got sacked. Honestly, the ones that are jumping out to me right now, definitely going to be the interceptions, which is a top 10 thing, and then also, sacks. We got up there in sacks. I hope we can protect the quarterback more when time comes. However, guys, if you look at the stats here, our passing is phenomenal. Like, it's top notch. Meanwhile, though, our rushing game was not. Again, this is rushing attempts, yards average, or yards per attempt, touchdowns, 20 plus rushes, 40 plus rushes, longest rush for first down, rushing for first down percentage, and then you got the fumbles. The glaring issue that I'm seeing right now is right there, I should say right up there, which is the rushing fumbles. We just gotta hold on to the ball more and everything. I mean, that's pretty much it. And if you're noticing, guys, if you've ever seen a T like there in the for the longest, it's 61 T. That means it's a touchdown as well. And trust me, guys, there are some ties in this thing where we tie for other teams. So that's why you have that there where we're just tying with other teams. Meanwhile, for receiving, the receiving, of course, is going to reflect how it is with the passing, of course. Honestly, we did a really good job with our passing game, and the receivers, good job on you guys for stepping up and doing what needs to be done. Because we lost Waller at one point. Henry Ruggs was gone, and our receivers picked up what needed to be picked up and got the job done. Good job on you guys. One glaring issue, though, again, the fumbles. I'm seeing the fumbles again, which we just can't have that. We cannot have that. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on, though, to scoring. So scoring, of course, is going to be is here. one of the things that again, we were in the middle of the pack when it came to total touchdowns. However, in order for us to do better and to possibly get a better standing in the playoffs, we need to get more touchdowns, especially when we get it into the red zone. That was one of our glaring issues that we had. As you can see, we had more passing touchdowns than rushing, obviously. And of course, yeah, we tied for last place because we didn't get any two-point attempts in at all. So there's that. Anyways, moving on. We're now moving on to defense, guys, and then don't be fooled by these stats. The defense, especially when it comes to certain things, it is being against us. So that doesn't. So the lower the number, that means the lower the ranking, that means it's bad for us. Higher the ranking, that means it's good. The only thing that I would say though, when it comes to the ranking, as you can see, it's passing attempts against us, completed against us, completion percentage against us, yards yards per attempt against us, touchdowns against us, and then you got 20 plus, 40 plus, then longest. The big glaring issue is the interception category right there. Right up there. It's bad. I mean, we could not. I mean, there are so many times when I kind of looked. I remember watching the games and just having our defensive backs, the ball would be in their hands and when they would drop them, and hopefully they get their catching better because we need that. We need that big time. But again, one of the things I can say is our defense is not that bad. It isn't. Moving on to rushing for defense. As you can see, it's rushing attempts against us. We got the rushing yards against us, yards per carry against us, touchdowns against us, 20 plus, 40 plus, longest. Yeah, our rushing defense was not that good actually. That was the main thing. Not that good. That's something that we're gonna need to take care of. Luckily, in this pass heavy NFL that is today, we don't see a whole lot, but still, I mean, that's a big issue right there. So hopefully we can fix it in the off season. But yeah, moving on to other things such as receiving. Receiving again is it's a reflection of passing really, and we did really good with our receptions going against us when it comes to passing. Our defensive backs really did a good job. Shout out to them for getting the job done. There's nothing else to it besides that. And for defensive scoring, honestly, we didn't score that much for defense. We did tie for first place though, because it's us and these other teams got at least one safety. So there's that, but hardly any defensive scoring at all whatsoever. Tackles though, we did really good with our tackling. Believe it or not, we had 40 sacks. That's the 11th place. So we had a combined of 1,193 tackles, and then it's breaking up into assisted tackles and solo tackles and stuff like that. But the defense did a good job. They did a really good job for us. And here it is in the turnover category. You have the forced fumbles, the fumbles recovered. You have the fumbles recovered for a touchdown, the rushing fumbles, receiving fumbles. You have the interceptions. Of course, we finished that last line. Interception for a touchdown, interception yards, and then also the longest interception that we had. I mean, if you look at these numbers, it's just, I mean, we did pretty good with the fumbling and everything. Unfortunately, the interception category was just bad, and hopefully, again, as long as we can get that turnover category to a plus instead of a minus, that'll be better for us in the long run. Moving on, to field goals, or I should say special teams and everything. This is a very complicated category. I mean, so the first things first is you got attempts field goals made, field goal percentage, extra points made, extra point percentage, field goals blocked, field goal extra points blocked, and then you got into a really weird category. I'll get into that for a second. First off, let's look at this freaking category right here for freaking for field goals. This is why Daniel Carlson should have been a freaking Pro Bowler. Don't you think? I mean, first in attempts, first in made. You know, he was top, and then he was top 10 in field goals percentage. You can't get any better than that. And yeah, you got the extra points and everything. That was the one thing that he kind of lacked in, was extra points. But shout out to our special teams though, for especially the line when it comes to the special teams. No field goals blocked, no extra points blocked. It was all simply just Daniel Carlson missed. Now, this next category here, you got the range for field goals. So you got the 1 yard to 19 yarder, which is rare. You know, you got the 20 yarder to 29 yarder, and so on and so forth. They were very confusing, guys. At one point, you know, again, if you see like the 30 for 39 one, I thought that was a good thing. And then I looked, and one team was 15 for 15, but they're ranked lower than us. So it was very confusing. One thing that was not confusing though was the longest, our longest one, which we got 6. We tied for 6 on the longest kick and everything. So there's that. Moving on though to kick returns. We did okay, I guess, kind of. You know, again, it's returns, return yards, return yard average, you know, kick returns for a touchdown. None. Zero. Nada. Then of course you got the 20+ yarder, the 40+ yarder, the longest, the fair catch, which again, the fair catch thing, hardly anyone does a fair catch. I think there was only like one team that did a fair catch during the kickoff, so there's that. And then of course we all know the glaring issue though is the fumbles. You know, we fumbled during our kickoff, and we were tied for third because of that one thing. So there's something that we need to fix. Again, hold on to the ball. Moving on to punt returns. You know, we got returns, return yards, return yard average, punt returns for a touchdown. Obviously, we didn't get any, so that's for last place. Then of course, you know, again, we got the length. Also, we have fair catch, the FC, and then we also have fumbles. So, and again, the glaring issue I'm seeing is the fumbles. Look, we only have 4, right there, 4, and it's freaking, you know, we're second in that. We need to hold on to the ball. Hold on to the ball, guys. Moving on to kicking and everything. This is a long one, guys. Please bear with me, all right? So we have kickoffs, yards, touchbacks, touchback percentage, returns, return yard average, onside kick reception, recovers, out of bounds kicks. And then we also have kick returns for a touchdown. The glaring issue with that is simply you know, if you look at it, we had that one that was returned for a touchdown. Besides that, I mean, we just didn't do any onside kicking at all. So I don't even remember if we even did any onside kicks. So there's that. Meanwhile, this next category right here, we got punts. So we have, you know, the number of punts that we had. Punt yards, punt yard average, which again, we're first place. Good job to you, AJ Cole. Good job to you. Our longest punt, ones that were inside the 20, out of bounds, punts that were downed. That was when the ball rolls and the defense touches it. We got touchbacks, fair catches, returns, return yards, you know, punt, return touchdowns, and then of course we also have the punt blocks. The big one is simply punts blocked. No one blocked our punts. Good job to special teams line for not letting any person get behind them and block for field goals, extra points, and punts. Nothing. Goose egg. That is great. Good job on the special teams for that. Moving on, guys. Here we go. It is the Raiders versus the NFL stats here. Whew. So, if you look here, we got total first downs, total first downs when it comes to pass, rushing, and penalties, third down conversions, fourth down conversions, total offensive yards, offensive plays with the yard average, total passing yards, completion attempt record, which also has the yards per average, and interceptions. You also have the total rushing yards, which you have attempts with the average, sacks, field goals, touchdowns when it comes to pass, rushing, defensive, and also kick or punt returns. And you have the average time of possession, and of course the turnover ratio. Whew, that's a lot, guys. So if you're looking at it at the stats right now, we didn't do too bad when it came to the first downs. I mean, the third down conversions, the percentage was a little low for us. But again, if you look at it, I mean, honestly, our defense is doing so good. They had to convert for the other teams had to convert for third downs. They were trying that much. Fourth down conversions, it's okay. We won in total offensive yards, offensive plays. We did not, because after all, we were forcing teams to keep going for third downs, unlike us when we were always doing first down, second down conversions. Good job on us for that. Once again, our bread and butter was the passing yards, where we had more than our opponent. Rushing yards was not. That's just how it was. We tied for sacks, at least. That's the one good thing about that. Field goals, I mean, we just blew out field goals. Again, Daniel Carlson should be a freaking Pro Bowler. It's stupid that he was not nominated for that. Touchdowns, we got our butts kicked in touchdowns. We just got to score the ball. That's the only way that we're going to be able to that's the only thing that's going to help us not squeak into the playoffs like we did last time. And of course, we had the ball longer than most for average time possession. Here's the big thing right there. Look down there. You have the turnover ratio. -9, guys. We have got to do better with turnovers. The turnover ratio needs to not be that low for us. We need to get that in the plus category. That's something that we need to improve on for next time. Moving on, guys. We're going over the team stats, leaders for our team. Now, obviously, here we go. Passing, you already know. It's being dominated by Derek Carr, our quarterback. Is he coming back next year? I don't know. I have no idea what's going to happen to Carr. All I know is that Carr has been the guy. He has not been the solution, and sometimes he's been the problem, but for the most part, though, he hasn't been the glaring problem, the white elephant in the room. So, I mean, honestly, Derek Carr is solid. I mean, yards, completion attempts, touchdowns, interceptions, longest throw, the times he's been sacked, quarterback rating. I mean, Derek Carr is the man. Meanwhile, for rushing leaders, we have bouncing around. Trust me, it was a battle between Josh Jacobs and MM8 Marcus Mariota. Attempts, it was Josh Jacobs winning with 217 yards. Jacobs again with 872. However, yards per attempt, it was Marcus Mariota with 6.7. Now, Ragas had a 9-yard average. However, he only did one rush. I'm not including that. All right, you need to do more than one rush in order to get onto the freaking leaderboard for me. Longest was again Marcus Mariota for 31 yards, but yet Josh Jacobs was able to edge ahead with his touchdowns, which is 9 touchdowns. Moving on though to receiving, you have the man Hunter Renfrow and Deshaun Jackson battling out to see who was the better receiver, with Renfrow winning in receptions with 103 receptions. You have for yardage, Renfrow wins again with 1,038 yards and everything. However, yards per reception, it was Deshaun Jackson with 22.7. He's going for the long ball. If you ever want If you were want to have freaking Deshaun Jackson, go for the long ball. He'll be there. The longest, again, being 75 yards for a touchdown. Dang. And then, of course, you got the touchdowns, which Renfro edged him out to be the leader of the receiving with 9 touchdowns. Here we go with defense, bull. Here we go with defense. So, here we go. We have a lot to cover. So, on one side, you have the tackles and stuff like that. And then the other one, you got the turnovers. Let's go ahead and get onto it. Leading in tackles, leading in tackles, you know that it's Denzel Perryman with 154 tackles. And solo tackles, it's Perryman again with 102 tackles. But wait, he's not done. For assisted tackles, him and Abram share that number with 52 tackles. Sacks, Yannick Ngakoue beat out Max Crosby with 10 sacks. Safeties, though, it was Casey Hayward with the 1. Fumbles, though, it was a tie between Thomas, Ngakoue, and Jefferson with 2. Interceptions, it is a freaking whopping 6-person tie with Mullen, Morig, Hobbs, Hayward, Faison, and Abram. Speaking of Hobbs, someone take Hobbs' keys away from and have him never drive again. Seriously. Moving on, though. Interceptions, though, it looked like it was going to be neck and neck with who was going to win, but it was Trayvon Moring who won out with interception yards being 35. His interception yards per reception was 35, longest 35. But no one won in the interception touchdown category because we didn't get one. That is a lot. Moving on to kicking and punting, of course. You already know. These 2 Pro Bowlers. One is supposed to be a Pro Bowler, and one is a Pro Bowler. God dang it. Someone freaking get Daniel Carlson to the Pro Bowl. Let's bust up someone's kneecaps. I'm not condoning violence. I was just saying stuff. Yeah. All right, but I mean, look at these stats though. AJ Cole and Daniel Carlson are the men. The men. Not only that, but shout out to our long snapper too. Good old Trent. All right. Moving on though to returning. Punt returns. Hunter Renfro dominates the punt return. Let's just say that. With it being 21 returns, 20 fair catches. Yeah. He was just phenomenal. I don't have a stat for yards per return. Whoops. Either way, he was dominating in that category. Meanwhile, for kick returns, you have, for returns, it's Jalen Richard that leads the way for 11 returns. No one was stupid enough to do a fair catch for a kickoff. Thank goodness. Yards, it was Jalen Richard for 227 yards. Barber, though, edged out with the yards per return with 24.5. The longest, though, was from Johnson, 34, and of course, no one scored touchdowns in that. All right, guys, it is time for my final favorite part of the show. It is the Bacon Praise Burger versus the Turd Sandwich. We made the playoffs. Therefore, it's going to be the Bacon Praise burger. What is a frickin' bacon praise burger? What is a praise burger? Well, imagine that you're at work and someone is doing something that you don't like. Instead of walking up to them and giving them the good old shoryuken, why not maybe give him or her, a praise burger instead? A praise burger is when you talk to the person, you give them positive praise, constructive criticism, and then you give them positive praise again. That is something that you can give to someone. And of course, in my show, it is the bacon praise burgers. Therefore, there's going to be bacon in it. Because after all, bacon loves you. Like, seriously. Bacon wants you to want it to be inside you. It sounds really dirty, but it's true. Have some bacon today. Here it is. Guys, we start off hot. That is the best thing about it. That is a positive right there, is that we start off hot. I like it. I want us to keep starting off hot. You know, to make sure that we just rack those early wins in so we can get a rhythm going on. The other thing is they kept fighting. They kept fighting after everything that happened to us. We kept fighting. We kept competing, and because we kept fighting, we turned the ship around to get to the playoffs. That is the biggest thing and a huge positive about that. Now, bye week blues, guys. The Raiders, talk to me, guys. You gotta not start off cold after the bye week. You need to keep that streak going, man. You just gotta. All right. Luckily, we didn't have a complete, a bye week collapse and everything, but still, I mean, we were close to it. Not only that, guys, we gotta beat those easy teams. We should have beat the Giants this year. When we went against the Giants, we should have beat them. I really think we should have beaten the Bengals and the Bears. I'm pretty sure we could have also beaten the Washington Redskins until they come up with a proper name. I'm going to just say it. The Washington Redskins. There's a lot of teams that we could have beaten, and I think we should have beaten. So, yeah. The next thing is the O-line, guys. I've been harping on this all season long. But, overall, the O-line, you guys were bad. You guys put it together again, but you were also one of the main reasons why we did not face the Titans this weekend. So, you got to shape up. You got to get better. This offseason, train hard, get better. That's all I can say. Defense, you guys were phenomenal. Oh my God. Way to go to the defense. You guys held us together. Again, I hope that we can keep it going next season. Next thing, wide receivers stepping up. Wow. Wide receivers. You guys did a phenomenal job. You guys, it blows my mind. When Waller and Ruggs were out, you guys stepped up. That was amazing. Especially to you, Hunter Renfrow. Good job to you. The bacon, of course, is going to be that you guys made the playoffs. You guys met my expectations. I've already beat the dead horse with it, but you guys did that. And that's what counts. I mean, there's nothing else to it. All right, guys, that is the Bacon Praise Burger. Munch on that for the rest of the off season. So, which means you're gonna have to take really small bites, and the burger might be bad by the time you get to it. So, yeah. Yeah, that's it for this season. If you guys are interested in seeing any other videos that I am doing, since this is the off season for me, I am going to start gaming as well. Um, and because I'm going to start gaming and everything, I want to let you guys know that there is a channel that I am going to put down in the link in the description below. It is a gaming channel that my wife and I are doing. I'm in control of it, of course. But if you're wanting to see some gaming and stuff like that, besides that, there might be a couple of videos here and there in the channel. But for the most part, that's pretty much it. It's the off season for me. But yeah, I hope you guys liked watching this. Thank you very much for watching this video. I know it's long. I'm trying to get it all wrapped up and everything, but yeah, it's been one hell of a season. I should catch you guys later. Bye.